Okay, gang, today we're going to do a Brian May style lick of Queen in the key of D. And you know, Brian May was one of my favorite guitar players growing up, and he had a different sort of style and sound. It was less, although he could play the sort of the pentatonic bluesy sorts of runs, he could also play runs that had other notes in them, maybe notes from the major scale, although he claims he's not a scale sort of player. Which I believe. He plays a lot of chords and things like that, but he certainly could play a major scale. And so this lick incorporates kind of both of those elements. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, as always, if you like it, give it the thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, subscribe for one of these every week, or a couple of these every week. We'll see you in just a second. Okay, gang, let's go over this note for note now. First things first, you can download the tab from the link in the description below. It's going to make your life a little bit easier. Second thing is the sound. I'm using the bridge pickup on this PRS guitar, and I've got a decent amount of gain on it. Right? And I've also got a little bit of flanger to get that Brian May sound. All right, so let's see. Let's do the whole lick as it is. We'll do it slowly, and then we'll break it down note for note. Okay, here it is slowly. Okay, I think of this as having three distinct parts. The first is those two bends. The second is that fast run, that part, and then the last part is sort of a bluesy run. All right? So you can think of this as coming out of the C major scale or the D Dorian, if you will, and that at least that first part, and the second part is kind of a minor pentatonic, D minor pentatonic lick. All right, so let's look at the lick itself now. Let's look at the first two bends. The first two bends, this part right here. Those are just on the 13th fret, second string. We're going to start out with that. And just kind of like slowly bring it up, and then the second time give it lots of vibrato. Okay, and then hit it, bring it down, and come down to the 10th. And immediately go to the 13th on the first fret. And do the same thing that we did on the 13th on the second. All right, so that's just the preamble here. All right, now here is the sort of, I think is the most Brian May-esque part of this. All right, so that's a run out of a D Dorian, or C major scale, if you will. And so we're going to start out pretty high and dive pretty low, which is a common thing that he did. So we're going to start out here in 12th fret, first string, hammer on, pull off from the 13th. Okay, and then we're just going to walk down that scale on the string. So we'll do on the second string, 15, 15, 13, 12. Okay, and then on the third string, 14, 12. And now on the fourth string, and here's where you have some choices, not in terms of the notes that you're playing, but how you finger them, okay? So the notes that we'll play are the 15, 14, 12, 10, and 9. Okay, so the whole thing goes like this. Now you have some choices, like I said, on the fourth string. You can play all four fingers, like so. If you're picking all the notes, I think that makes sense, and then just bring over your first finger over. That takes some practice to do, for sure. Yeah, like I couldn't do it right there. Or you can do what I do, which is use the first string on a number of these strings. And I actually do a slide. I think it sounds better from the 12th to the 10th. Okay, and that is that lick. And then finally, the last lick is... Okay, that's definitely a bluesy sort of lick out of the D minor pentatonic. You can think of that. So we're starting here on the 10th fret of the 5th string, come back to the 8th, then 10th, slide up to 12th, and then we're just going to walk it up the pentatonic, 10, 12 on the 4th, 10, 12 on the 3rd, and then bend that a whole step and give it vibrato. And that's the whole lick. Okay, so here's the whole thing in its entirety again. And that's it. Well, gang, there you have it, a Brian May style lick. Hope you enjoyed it, and that's about it. We'll see you on down the road.